So now you telling me that even though I did everything right by dotting all my I's and crossing all my T's, I'm still the one in the wrong? I'm still the one that's got to get this suspension.
Too much propaganda, spiritual pollution, too many problems, not enough solutions.
All right, listen up, y'all.
Greetings, brothers and sisters. This is another episode of All Things Education Official. I'm your host and educator, Dr. Abdullah, giving you educational news from a foundational Black American man's perspective. If you like what you're seeing, you like what you're hearing, please subscribe, comment, like, and share. Subscribe, comment, like, and share, put me in the algorithm. And if you like, please follow me on my social media handles at Facebook, Instagram, Rumble, TikTok, LinkedIn, and X. And if you appreciate the content, you want to donate to the channel and support the work, please feel free to go to the About section and buy me a cup of coffee. It will be greatly appreciated. Today, we'll be discussing the IHSA, the Illinois High School Association's decision to hand out a 6-game suspension to Coach Tim Flowers of Simeon High School because he chose to take a group of young men on an invited trip to Hong Kong.
The actual people who paid for the trip and invited us on the trip, they came up here to begin the school year. They came up here, actually at the end of the last school year, they came up here to Simeon. They flew here from Hong Kong. It was about like a team of 6 or 7 people. They flew here from Hong Kong and they just came up here to walk through the building, introduce themselves, get to see what the life is like here in Chicago and in the high school environment. And that's when they extended the invitation for us to come to Hong Kong. Literally, we left on a Wednesday, the 10th. The trip didn't get approved by CPS until that Friday, which I believe was like the 7th or the 6th. Through the whole thing, bro, like, once we got the invitation, everything for me was passed on to like my administration and CPS administration. We leave on the 10th, we go out there. The crazy part about it is the trip was so far away from being about basketball, bro. Like, we got some young people that's dealing with some real stuff right now. We got a young man that just had lost somebody to gun violence. And we had another young man that was potentially thinking about leaving our building because of some things his family was going through that we didn't necessarily have control over. But we was able to take him out of this country, for 5 or 6 days and let his family mind be at ease, let his mind be at ease, and let him be just a young man. We were able to go over that, bro. It was so little. We played a couple games, but it wasn't even about basketball, bro. We went to a high school actually and did a cultural exchange. We went to restaurants where our kids was able to try some food that they never tried before. They was able to get out into the streets of Hong Kong and see the country and see the place for what it was. So, it's being made to be about basketball now, but it was never about basketball. We went to Africa in 2022 and they suspended me for 2 games because they said that, I didn't have any clearance from anybody. That's what the principal at the time told me. Nobody cleared this trip. So now in this sense, opposed to me being hand-to-hand involved in anything, I pass it on to my higher-ups.
According to the 2025 Medium article entitled When Courage Meets the Classroom, The Curriculum and the Conscience by Mr. Terrence Knox, James Baldwin warned in his 1963 essay entitled A Talk to Teachers, the purpose of education is not to produce citizens who merely obey, but thinkers who question the world around them. Tim Flowers knows the importance of experiences and connections. Simeon has produced athletic greats such as Derrick Rose, so Coach Flowers knows the tricks of high school and college athletics. If he were to expose these young men to things outside of the athletic arena, they may decide to pursue other things that are contrary to the athletic entertainment industry. They may return and offer their peers an alternative to the shackles of athletics and its pipe dream of constant fame and fortune. I've worked at an athletic powerhouse school in New Jersey, and I've seen the limitations placed upon the athletes and how they are not encouraged to learn, but they are encouraged to win in their respective sports, despite their academic shortcomings. Whenever we speak on the ills of society and how Black Americans have historically been treated in the country, we are bombarded with weak deflections like, what about Chicago? Are you worried about what's going on there? Meanwhile, you have the systemic replacement of its Black American citizens with illegal migrants by the current mayor, Brandon Johnson, who, by the way, is a former CPS teacher. And you have individuals like Coach Flowers being persecuted for taking steps to expose some of the young men from Chicago to something greater than they have experienced, which could impact their lives. My question is this: if we are ever to become the great community that we are able to be, when will the men and women of vision be the primary driving forces in our community, as opposed to the talkers and showboats that only claim to care but seem only interested in self-grandeur and financial gain?
That was y'all job. Everything was going to you all. It was cleared through you all. I didn't clear it. I didn't just take these kids and go on this trip on my own. But like you said, bro, like we can sit here and talk about the basketball aspect all we want, and people can have varying opinions on the basketball part. But the most important part, man, and I'm gonna keep hammering in on this. We were able to take 18 young men from the South, from all over, because we a school that get kids from all over. We was able to take 18 kids on a 15-hour and 50-minute flight to a whole different part of the world. And for us, it's like they time traveled. We left and we got there at nighttime, and we left during the day, early in the morning, right? Like we went all the way like a day ahead, and we came back and it was a day behind. These kids was able to experience that. They was able to see that. We got young men who was like, man, Coach Tim, I'll move here now, because I was able to come here and see how these people treat me. I move here, I felt like a celebrity. I felt like a star already. I felt like I made it already. Then I'll have other kids that's now coming back, and they like, their drive to be successful is a little bit different. They ain't caring about no basketball. That's a part of it, but they just looking at it like, damn, this how people live? This how people interact? Damn, I can leave out my hotel and I can walk down to the store. I can walk to McDonald's and I ain't got to look over my shoulder. I ain't got to worry about getting shot. I ain't got to worry about getting robbed. You know, I'm thankful, bro. Like, I'm thankful that I was able to get them 18 boys, or play a part of giving them 18 boys the opportunity to just live rent-free out their mind for 6 days.
It's obvious that there is a concerted effort to disrupt the progress and growth of our children, but it is imperative that we have great men of vision like Coach Flowers who will push the envelope and expose our children to things that they may not otherwise ever experience. We salute you, Coach Flowers. You're doing God's work. Family, you are dismissed.
Too much propaganda, spiritual pollution, too many problems, not enough solutions. So many billionaires that make no contributions. We gotta create, fund, and maintain our institutions. Too much propaganda, spiritual